If you had less than 2 hours to evacuate your house, what would you take with you and what would you leave behind? That was the horrifying reality facing hundreds of families this week, forced to flee devastating floods. People living around the Vaal Dam in the Free State and 𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗶𝘀 Dam in the northwest had less than 2 hours to ensure the safety of their families and pets and move their belongings to higher ground.
Ek het nog hier so gestaan. Dan sien jy hoe gaan jou een tent tuis, dan gaan jy ander tent tuis, dan hoor jy hoe vat jy jou houthuis, al daai goed so saam.
Fanie Smith is devastated. Having worked on the gold mines all his life, in 2016 he used his pension and savings to buy his dream house on the Vaal River between 𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗴𝗶 and 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗃. This wasn't his first experience of flooding, and he took precautions when the water started rising.
Hy het opgetel wat hy net 'n dakke voorweg, so met die jare kom hy so op. So ek sê nou hierdie jaar is die eerste keer dat ek hom so hoog gehou het.
He measured the levels hourly and set an alarm to wake him during the night so he could monitor markers he had made. He never imagined the magnitude of the flood coming his way.
So elke 15-20 minute dan kan jy sien tel hy op.
In the end, all he could do was watch as the water swallowed all he'd built. You know, we watch the visuals of water levels rising and people's homes being completely submerged. And we watch in disbelief. Today I spoke to Fanie, and I don't even think he knows how to articulate how heartbroken he is, because this behind me is his entire world gone. Floods are generally natural disasters. But this one was man-made. When 12 sluice gates were opened with little advance warning, taking hundreds of residents by surprise.
Oh my holy crap. Daar is nie meer pad nie, nee.
Ons is op pad uit. Ons het dit hier by ons nou lyk.
The Vaal and 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗃 dams have earth-filled walls that shouldn't be allowed to overflow. That's why sluice gates are opened, releasing water and protecting the integrity of the wall. The Vaal has 60 gates along its dam wall for this reason. But a decision to open the gates was all too sudden, and the river came down with biblical vengeance. Known as an iconic tourist destination in the Free State, 𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗴𝗶 has been one of the town's hardest hit. Lodge owners and residents only had an hour or two to evacuate their properties as these rapids were making their way downriver. Professor Graham Addison has been living on the river for 22 years and has never seen it this vicious.
I think what happened was a coincidence of factors.
Okay.
They had to open the Vaal Dam gates, but at the same time, and probably unknown to a lot of officials, there was a flood on the 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃. And those two things converged, and it became an uncontrollable spate of water, a kind of a virtual tsunami on the river.
𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃 is located in the upper parts of the Vaal Basin, and heavy rain in Gauteng increased its flow. It was the start of a natural flood. Question is, did the government recognize this?
We watched the figures on the Department of Water Affairs and Sanitation website. They're not altogether believable or accurate all the time. They do say they're unverified figures. And we noticed that there was a lot of water coming from the Vaal Dam, but there was no record of the water coming from the 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃.
But given the rising dam levels, action could have been taken sooner.
Hulle moes geweet het dis 'n reenseisoen. Hulle moes voor die tyd al begin water oopmaak. Hulle die water terughou tot hy so op 110% kom, dan begin hulle sluise oopmaak. Toe maak hulle 2 oop, toe sit 4, toe sit 6, van 6 toe sit sommer na 12 toe.
But for the government, it's a catch-22. The Department of Water and Sanitation's 𝗀𝗏𝗏 says it's a gamble to let water go in anticipation of natural floods and heavy rain.
What if the water then doesn't arrive, or it falls in an adjacent catchment? Then it's a man-made drought, and then the department have to take responsibility for that as well.
A full dam is government's first priority.
The dilemma faced by water affairs is that when you've got a full dam, you want to keep that water because the winter is coming and there'll be no rain. On the other hand, when there's a prediction of heavy rainfall, you've got to let something go. How much do you let go?
But why not open sluices when forecasters warn that exceptionally high rainfall is on its way? Like when a cyclone steadily heads in your direction. Just this week, Cyclone Freddy hit Madagascar, then made its way towards Mozambique. While it decreased in intensity to a tropical storm, forecasts still indicated heavy rain for South Africa. Despite this, the Department of Water and Sanitation didn't budge. Again.
The big word here is may. It may happen. There's no assurance that it's going to happen as far as any rainfall situation is concerned.
Government only opens the gates when the deluge arrives, leaving little time for precautions. And, it seems, urgent information doesn't reach locals in time.
It's a communication problem that the Department of Water Affairs needs to assign a communication officer to tell the public what is going on.
Van die Vaaldam se kant af, van die brug se kant af, weet ons niks as hulle begin oopmaak nie.
The department admits it can do more to get word to residents. It adds that those affected shouldn't have built below the 100-year flood line, which indicates the likely level of water during a 100-year flood. It's an event which has a 1% probability of occurring in any given year. But experts believe that the flood line on the Vaal has moved because of global warming and continued urbanization. But these are natural floods, not those caused by the sudden opening of sluice gates. Proper communication is at least what's needed to avoid another catastrophic flood. Without it, people like Fanie can't prepare and save what little they have left.
Gaan nog steeds hier kom bly. So ek sê, genade van bo af. My lewe is hierso. Nee, ek sal nie sommer verkoop hierso nie.